Welcome to Odd Jobs. Today we're at Liberty Way Farm working on a greenhouse. We're putting up some sliding barn doors. Stick around. Here inside the greenhouse, you're going to have to build a frame, just like you would for any other garage door. Doesn't matter what the style is. So the barn doors that we're putting on, overall are 12 feet wide. So our opening is going to be slightly smaller than that, so that we can create a positive seal on the outside. So I've measured out 140 inches centered into this bay. I've got these 4x4s, steel 4x4s that I'm going to be using for the frame. Once it's plumb, I'm just going to secure it with some self-tapping screws. So once we have the king posts for the barn doors put into place, we can then come outside and cut away our plastic. I also have to cut away the horizontal supports, and normally this was something I'd be using a angle grinder on, but I changed my ways and I went to the Sawzall with a steel cutting blade, and I like this method. No sparks, no heat. It works great. I also have to cut away the bottom part of the greenhouse here through all this insulation and the bottom rail. And this is to allow us to drive a tractor in or anything of that nature, just bringing it down to ground level. Eventually, we'll be cementing in this threshold. Back last summer when we ordered the framework for the greenhouse, we made sure to include the framing and all the trim work necessary for garage doors. And that's what I'm installing here. We'll cut it specifically to fit the shape, and we will use self-tapping screws to fasten it to the king posts. And next we have to install the header. I'll be using one of those horizontal support beams that I had removed from this section and mounted high up on the truss of the greenhouse. And this is going to provide support for our sliding track. The track goes up very easily. It's suspended on 2 or 3 hangers, which are bolted through the header piece we had just put in. Next we'll move on to the doors themselves. The polycarbonate that I cut away from the front of the greenhouse, I'll be using that as the paneling on the door. The door consists of some frost fence framing that we found laying around the farm. Each of these pieces of frame were 6 feet wide and 10 feet long. It made more sense to just use these fence frames instead of going through the trouble of framing up with aluminum. Now, because the piece of polycarbonate that we cut away from the front of the greenhouse is slightly shorter than the door is, we'll cut it in half and put a divider in the middle, and that'll make up the space and give us something solid to fasten to along the bottom. Okay, so we're going to be using 2 different types of barn door hangers. These ones here that have a threaded bolt on it, and these ones here that wrap around what traditionally should be what 2x4 with paneling on each side, I guess. I don't know what the measurement is here, but this is obviously much larger than that. So we're gonna have to shrink it down. I'm gonna take this off just to make it simpler. So I'm gonna put the pin back in here so that as I compress this, I'm not gonna compress the hole. I'm just gonna, and as close to here as I can, I'm gonna try and push it in there. So once we hang the doors in the track, we can adjust the hangers so that the door lies plumb. Perfect. And then we install these jam latches to secure the doors closed. You can check out this video to see detailed how they're installed. Like so. And that's going to keep the door very secure. Feel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All that great stuff. Thanks for hanging out at Hot Jobs.